What's going on, YouTube? Visible Body Content here, and welcome back to another episode of everyone's favorite show, Is It Over Yet? Today, as always, I'm your host, James Blair. Today, the guests of my show, co-hosts, as you would call them, would be Drew Stevenson, never been on the show before, please be polite to him. Joel Schmidt, he's been on 2 episodes, and Ghost Jackson, who is trying to...
I'm stuck. Who is currently
stuck.
There we go.
He's only been in 1 episode. So the person with the lowest episode count is her.
What? What?
We're keeping that in.
We're
That
keeping
is.
that in.
Oh yeah, we're
Okay,
keeping
today is the first episode of Is It Over Yet that we have had a full panel here.
Yeah.
So everyone applaud that. And today we're going to be reviewing a masterpiece film, the movie
Bad Ben.
Bad Ben, released in 2016 and directed and written and starred in by Nigel.
One and only.
Nigel Bach.
Yes.
He has also written a whole bunch of books, like 2 books.
Two
books, and there's also a whole bunch of Bad Ben sequels and prequels and everything.
There's
And-
5 movies in this series.
And
including a new one that's coming out this year.
And after watching this one movie, we have instantly become mesmerized by this man.
I love the word mesmerize. It's such a great word to describe something.
And it's so hard to actually pronounce.
Like, it can mean something good or bad.
Okay, well, anyway,
Yeah.
let's
So,
Also, and after we record this, we are actually going to be watching the second Bad Ben
binge
movie.
watching.
Bad Ben movie, making episode on that one. Third Bad Ben movie, that one. We're gonna be watching all of them tonight, and we're gonna be punching out new episodes of Is It Over Yet? Full panel, Bad Ben.
Into a supercut. Into a big supercut.
Big supercut. We're gonna be releasing them separately, but also a supercut if you guys don't want to watch all the separate videos. So yeah. Also, fun fact: Nigel Bach actually filmed the entirety of Bad Ben in his own house.
For the past 5 movies.
And if you don't know what Bad Ben is, shame on you.
Nobody knows what it is. James.
It is basically the greatest movie of all. No.
Make sure you get
It is basically.
the worst
It
movie.
is. You know Paranormal Activity?
It is paranormal.
It's like Paranormal Activity plus
What?
Jesus.
okay.
kind of
Plus a crappier
Allow
version
me.
of Danny DeVito.
So, have you guys ever gone on Amazon? Ever gone on Amazon
Prime
Video?
Oh.
And then just looked at all the terrible horror movies they have there?
Big Ben is one of them.
Big Ben is at the end of the list.
Big
Also, if
Bad
you,
Ben.
also if
Bad
you-
Ben.
Big
Big
Ben.
Ben.
Big Ben.
Ben.
You mean the
Ben.
tower that
Big-
everyone loves in London?
Big Ben is the one where he goes to prison.
Clock.
Big Ben.
Clock tower, okay?
Also. So yeah, if you want to watch Bad Ben before, if you want to watch Bad Ben before you watch this, I don't know why you would, but all the movies.
First of all, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
You never do that.
Obviously.
Also, all the movies are on Prime Video if you want to watch them.
There's also merch.
Merch. There's merch.
There's merch.
Always a link
in the
in
description.
Link in the description.
description.
Probably
For the
not.
merch.
Probably not.
Can we
though.
throw pictures of the merch up on screen right now?
I'm not editing
Whoa!
this. I'm not
It's
editing
so great. I'll do it.
Whoa! I'm not
Whoa!
editing it. I'm not editing it.
I think we can do a favorite quote from this movie at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So-
if you here have never seen an episode of Is It Over Yet, you know that there are. You don't know, but there are free segments.
And we're
There
back and
is
forth.
the intro, which we just did, the summary of the story of the movie, where we all explain the story of the movie, and at the end there's the reverse review, where each of us picks a number out of 5, 5 being the worst and 1 being the best, and then we all compare it for a total mark of 20. 20.
20 now, yeah.
Because
Wait.
it's more people.
Yeah.
The highest mark being 20 and the lowest mark being 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And since we have the voting at the end, I mean the favorite quote at the end, let's take the 4th segment, right?
Yeah.
Well, 4 segment now.
4th segment now.
New thing? New thing?
New thing.
New thing.
Favorite
Applause
quote.
for new thing.
Woo! Okay, into the movie.
I love hanging out.
That was too little bit.
Yeah.
Guys.
Alright, so Big Ben. Bad Ben.
Bad Ben.
Big Ben. Bad Ben.
Bad Ben
Ben
is, okay, if you didn't know, Bad Ben is a ghost movie that is completely found footage. So you often see
Found
like
footage.
found footage. So you're often recording from a guy's phone or security cameras.
It's mostly security cameras.
Mostly security.
And might I mention, in the security cameras, in the top left corner, that says what room it is. Not in a, not in a believable font
in like the boldest font possible.
like Courier, like
Possible.
like bold papyrus or something.
Yeah.
It's like a font something
Comic
of that
Sans.
nature.
Comic
Sans.
But it's
The
a really,
best font.
really stupid font for a horror movie, I find.
Baldi's Basics did it.
Okay, so we're
Alright.
gonna go into the story now.
So basically, in the beginning of Bad Ben, our protagonist, Tom Riley.
Tom Riley.
Tom Riley, we love
Tom Riley.
Tom. We love
No,
Tom.
there's actually an exclaimer
Yeah.
that this footage was found on his phone
Found on
and
his
multiple security cameras on his house. In his house.
In his
Yeah.
house.
And basically, he starts to drive down the road, and then he finds his house.
He finds his house. He got it at a sheriff's sale. I don't know.
Sheriff's
is that
sale?
a
It
real-
said
Sheriff's
Sheriff's
sale.
He's
Sale.
searching it up.
Yes, let's take a look at
He's
what the
searching it up.
interwebs has
Well,
to
let's
say.
keep talking.
But yeah,
So
basically.
he drives to this new house. Then he
And when he
got-
gets inside, he tries to like turn on the electricity, but guess what? It
Oh.
doesn't turn on.
It doesn't turn on.
Turns out it's
So we-
an actual thing. It's a public auction for mortgage lenders, banks, tax collectors, and other people who sell things.
Okay.
Okay, so it's basically the black market for houses.
No, not the black market. It's like funded by governments and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he goes into this house. There's no electricity.
So he calls Atlantic Electric or Atlantic
Also-
City Electric.
I'm really sad. Jack could have been here. He
Jack
hasn't
could
been
have
here.
been
He
here.
hasn't been here in a long time. We miss Jack.
Basement dweller Jack.
He's in here in
Basement
spirit.
dweller.
Yeah.
I think you did it wrong.
I think we all did it wrong.
He's here in spirit. He will come back soon.
He's actually sitting like right over there.
No.
Is that a quality promise?
Yes, that's a quality
Yes.
promise.
Quality
Quality promise. Quality promise.
Quality promise.
Quality promise.
Okay.
Quality promise.
True.
Quality
Okay, Jackson.
promise.
Jackson, do you want to explain what happens when he gets in the house?
I forget.
Okay. Anyway, do you want to explain?
Yeah, so what happens is he gets in this house, he notices that there are like a bunch of security cameras like everywhere, so he can access the security cameras, but only for the room he's in, which
Kind of sucks
Actually-
for a horror movie.
honestly I think I'm the exact opposite. I think that's actually really great for a horror movie because it sets up a lot of good things. Not that the movie's
No, I mean,
it's not that the movie takes advantage of that, but
It
it's
sucks
like-
for him. Though.
Like the acting
It sucks
in
for the
this,
dude in the
thing
movie,
in this
yeah.
movie is like the acting is so bad that for
Well, he did write, direct, and
Yeah.
star it himself.
the 70% of the time we were laughing so much because the lines
The
were like so
lines,
funny and
yes.
not believable. Like
Oh.
at some points, like a couch in movies, like no, stop it,
Stop it!
stop it.
No, because he made friends with the ghost.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
sometimes the delivery of the lines is a bit off.
Yeah.
So
It's like
basically-
so near the end, he's going to the basement. He has a hatchet, and then he goes,
Wait, shit,
"This
shit, shit, shit,
time."
Wait, no, don't say it.
We're describing the movie right now. So he goes in. There's no electricity, and there's security cameras everywhere. He doesn't know what the meaning of this is, but
We all just hear the wails of the ghost from upstairs.
it's
Hold on.
bad.
Ghostbusters!
Okay, Jackson,
Ah!
Jackson's gonna go check on that. We'll keep
Okay.
going.
We've been recording for 8 minutes.
We've been recording for 8 minutes.
So basically, he gets in. There's security cameras everywhere, and then the next day, it cuts to the next day, where he is vlogging, or as I would say, vlogging.
I'm back, guys.
He's back. From
He's
Ghost.
back.
There are ghosts everywhere.
No, lovely.
Where is
So
it
then
now?
he says that my friends at Atlanta Electric did me a favor, and he goes in the house and there's electricity now. And then he is talking on the phone about a guy about all the security cameras, so he then sets up an app on his phone,
And then he goes
That
outside.
lets-
Well, it actually looks like more like an iPad.
iPad, and it lets him give access to all the security cameras, but only for the room that he is currently in.
Yes.
So then
Which,
the guy tells him, hey, there's a way to access all the security cameras from wherever you are, and he somehow fixes it and can see wherever, which is kind of really weird to the plot.
He fixes it, and you can see through all the cameras like on the third day.
yes, but here's the thing. He never uses this functionality once ever again in the movie.
Yeah.
It's set up and then it's just
He's never looking at the
thrown
security
out,
cameras.
and it's just an excuse to have what I'd call stupid
a
shots that
throwaway
don't
line.
amount to anything.
It's a
really.
throwaway. It's kind of like a throwaway part. To the
Yeah,
movie.
essentially, yeah.
Like it's like
My sock is inside out.
Because basically all they have, and this is what you don't want to do with horror movies, right? So you want to make sure that the scares affect the character directly. So if the character's walking around and then the thing appears in the background, then goes away, and the character doesn't even see it, that doesn't have an effect on the movie. That's just scaring, right? So that's this camera thing. That's what it allows the movie to do, and it sort of drags a bit, I find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then by about the third day, he is sleeping, and no, like the third day, he goes upstairs to check something, and then a huge bang happens in the house. He
And then a
runs
lot of
downstairs.
scraping.
Everything is fallen over. His furniture is all over the place.
His chairs have
And
like
he's
flown
like-
across the room.
And he's like, "Who the hell is in my house?" Pulls out a hatchet.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The first time it was a wrench. He just
It's
used
a
a
wrench.
wrench later.
He grabbed
Yes.
a wrench out of his plant.
He grabs a very conveniently placed wrench.
He,
Out of
he,
his
he
plant
leveled up
holder.
throughout the movie. He leveled up throughout the movie.
I noticed that he grabbed it out of his plant, his pot, like his pot holder for his plant,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird.
So then he's like talking to me. He's like, "Yo, somebody broke in my house." He called the cops, and they're
Oh
like,
yeah. Then here comes one of the quotes in the movie. Yo, dude, someone broke into my house.
Yeah.
"Yo, dude,
Someone
broke into
into
my
my
house."
house."
So
He goes
this just
outside and is
reminded
talking
me.
to them.
So throughout the movie, his accent changes multiple times.
Oh yeah.
So once he was from
Don't
New
question
York,
the cheese, man.
One time
And
he was Danny
next-
DeVito.
he sounded exactly like Danny DeVito. I kid you not. This man is like
He also
a professional impersonator.
Then he sounded like what's the astronaut name?
The astronaut name?
Chris
Neil.
Chris
Yes,
Hadfield.
Chris Hadfield. He sounded like Chris Hadfield. So his accent went from the beginning of the movie, New York to Canadian, to Danny DeVito, back to Canadian, and then New York again by the end.
Yeah.
Because by the end he's just screaming all of his lines.
Yeah.
It's really amusing.
So
Yeah.
after all, he fixes all the furniture. He goes outside to check out the rest of his house, which for some strange reason he hasn't done yet. And then he goes out into the forest a bit, and then finds a grave.
He finds a grave. It has the name Ben on it, as in the title
Ben.
Ben.
So let's
So he's like,
Let's-
"Oh boy, found
So
this child's
let's
grave."
let's recreate
let's
the scene.
describe what a
Let's
normal
recreate the
person would do.
Okay,
They
so
would
a normal
probably be-
person
They would
Would
honor
Would you
it.
this grave?
would.
This is the
This
grave.
is the grave right
This is the
here.
grave.
This
So-
is a grave. So he sees the grave. He's like, "Grave," and then he's like, "No more grave."
So
And like,
He
he
knocks over the
smacks.
headstone.
He knocks over the headstone.
Which,
he
mind
takes
you,
off the cross.
The headstone is a cross, which is like, I'm not religious or anything, but
But I think that'd be
that's not a
important.
good thing to do in a horror.
He knocks off the cross. He scrapes away all the rocks that are making up like the little area, and he throws away the rock.
and he finds
finds-
this machine that plays like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something on
Yeah,
it.
it's like a music box.
And
type
basically, he's like, well, that's going on eBay right there.
That's
So-
going on eBay right
thing.
there.
He finds a bunch of artifacts and then sells them on eBay.
Except for the one.
Like,
Except for the music
Except for
box.
the music box.
In that situation, that is the stupidest thing that you could do. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna get possessed by a baby ghost.
Yeah.
No,
Well, he doesn't know about the killing.
I know he doesn't know about the killing, but like, come on.
Later,
So
later he goes into his shed and finds a box of, like a crate, like a little treasure chest
like a
of
chest,
kitchen knives.
Kitchen knives.
And then
Nice.
inside
And then
inside the bag that the box was in, there's a bunch of the child's belongings.
a picture of the baby, and then a picture that he drew with.
No, that happens on the same night, James. Where he finds the
You
Yeah.
find-
And he
keys.
finds a picture that.
No, that happened the next day. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, he found a picture
No,
that
that's the same
of
day.
a
It was the
picture
same day,
Ben drew of his family. So mommy.
No, that's
Daddy?
way later.
That's
way
that's
later.
way
That's
later.
way later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way
Oh.
later.
He finds that in the end.
Yeah, he
that's
finds that
in
like
the Bible. Yeah.
third
So
act.
then so next day, oh wait, yeah, at night, he's sleeping and a shadow goes in front of his house and
Oh,
goes
yeah.
into his house.
We forgot to mention in
Yeah.
the beginning, he threw out all the Bible, like the Christian.
Yeah, so
artifacts
in the
in
house,
beginning.
all the furniture was still there. He threw out all of
The
the,
Christian
religious symbols and all that
artifacts.
stuff. So that's also a really good way to get absolutely bopped in a horror movie.
Absolutely.
Also, all the cameras are working, right? Except for the one.
Except for the
In
one
the
in the basement.
basement.
That's a very important plot point for the third act as well.
So then, stuff happens during the night, nothing that important, I don't think.
Yeah,
No,
the ghost just goes into his house.
It's
So
the first
more-
appearance of, like, big...
of a shadow.
And he ends up figuring out that there's something wrong with his house around
Well,
nighttime.
see, he up until this point, like I'd say beginning, sort of edging to the middle second act, he thought that this was all robbers and stuff because he's an idiot.
Because Tom's an idiot. Tom Riley.
Yes, Tom Riley is an idiot. The main character, he's an absolute dud. He doesn't know anything about anything whatsoever.
He's like one of those like guys like in Texas who are like, what's happening out here? Like, what's going on?
That's one way to put it.
No.
Most of your audience is from our school, dude.
You
Yeah,
don't.
I did. Yeah.
You don't have an audience.
I don't
No, I mean like those like typical like
Texan people.
Texan like
Oh, yeah.
stereotype.
No offense to anyone
Stereotype.
from Texas watching this video.
No, like the stereotype Texan. Like, oh, what's
Hey.
happening out
Tomater from Cars.
Anyway,
Yeah,
the next day he finds a lawnmower and he's like, bonus.
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 So
Yeah.
this is exactly what he says. He goes up and he says, "Look, bonus."
He didn't
And
buy
then-
the house to stay in it. He bought the house to flip it and then sell it for more.
Yes. That's what he does for a living.
He also finds the keys for a shed. He opens the shed and he finds a box or a
We
bag.
already did that.
We already did that part.
Yeah.
I found
That happened last.
No, that happened last night. And then that's when he found the bloody napkin as well.
a bloody towel.
Like
Yes.
how.
So
No, wait. No. No, it doesn't
No,
happen.
yeah,
That doesn't happen.
no,
Yeah, you found the box. No,
No, it
happens
doesn't.
at the same time. Happens at the same time.
No, it doesn't. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
he finds the
We're
box
still-
tonight with
Oh, wait,
the lawnmower.
last night, before he found the lawn,
this
he goes up, it's kind of confusing for me.
This movie, it all blends together. You
He
can't.
goes into the attic, and he finds the little shrine
He
with
finds-
a pentagram and an urn type thing full of voodoo dolls.
Yeah. So what he finds is basically a demonic ritual, and the pentagram is made out of like stick
Sticks.
things, and Jesus, like a Jesus cross
Broken
thing
cross. A broken
is-
cross.
under the pentagram.
And
like-
as we were watching the scene, we're like, is he gonna say
Is he-
that's going on eBay right there?
Yes.
Alright,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, what?
then he
So
finds the drawing, right?
yeah.
No,
So
no,
what
no,
happens?
that's
There's
not
a noise. He
No, he finds the
leaves.
drawing in the Bible at the end.
Yeah. So what happens
There's
is
a noise, he leaves, and then the candle
the
lights
candle
up.
lights up, which
I'm
is,
Kind of
I mean,
useless.
it's one of the best scares in the movie. It's sad to
it's
say.
not.
It's
Well, it's
The
the
best
movie.
scare- the best
the
scares
only
in that-
scare in the movie.
That
The
just-
best, no,
that
the
just-
best scared movie is, did somebody hurt you?
no. Are you a house pet?
see that just tells you how terrible this movie is. I'd say that's actually the
So then
second
the-
best.
so
I've
he-
changed my mind.
He comes back up and he blows out the candle, he gets all the stuff, he puts it in a bag,
And
he
then
brings it
leaves.
back downstairs, and then
a
he...
bit earlier in the movie, we forgot to mention this. He was playing with the music box, and he was
No, but
talking.
that didn't happen.
That doesn't happen
That
until
doesn't
figures out.
happen.
So then he opens the attic door is still kind of open after
Yeah.
he left.
It's half
So
over.
then when he finds the bloody towel and like the murder evidence of Ben and his family, Ben gets angry and he slams the attic door.
Yeah, so at this point in the movie, he still thinks people are breaking into his house, and he still thinks like the bloody towel and all that is separate from the paranormal activity that he still has included in his paranormal, like in the movie. So
Yeah.
he doesn't want anything to do with all this altar stuff because he thinks it's part of a murder conspiracy that happened way before, which it is.
And it'll make the
But-
house hard to sell.
It's
That's
yes,
why he's throwing all the
yeah,
stuff out.
definitely.
That's why he probably messed up the grave in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he said
they found
he
it.
didn't want evidence.
Yeah.
Mentioned that sometime in the movie that he
Yeah.
didn't want to be convicted of a murder of a small child,
No,
right?
that's when he found the towel. He said, "Oh, this is evidence."
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So he puts it back in a bag and like puts
So
it.
Ben,
God knows
okay,
where.
the next day, he's playing around with the music box and he's like, oh cool, what happened? I found something that happened with the music box. Ben, are you here? The music box is like,
Yeah. So
and
the
then-
music
and then he
box
goes like,
plays.
Ben, is this your toy?
And then
Are
this
you
is
dead?
the funniest part. So he goes, Ben,
Are
are
you?
you a house pet?
And
It's
it doesn't,
just doing
it doesn't
And
move.
it doesn't fly.
Are you a dog? He's like just testing it to show.
Are you a
Yeah.
cat? Nothing.
Are you a dog?
Are you
Nothing.
a human?
And then it turns, and
So-
then he's like, did somebody hurt you? And then this made me jump. The entire table just
This
moved.
exploded.
And then me and Jack, we were sitting there and we were like, ah!
Yeah, that one got me.
That
That was
got
the
me.
only
I
good
didn't think
scary
I'd be
movie
got by this
I'd
movie,
find.
but you know,
It was.
that was actually kind of scary.
But
well,
yeah,
the thing is, it wouldn't have been that bad in like a movie like The Conjuring, right? Because all those jump scares, they're all over the place. But this movie
You wouldn't
is
expect
so bad. The scares are so bad. When
That
there
when
is a
Good
half
scare.
decent scare, it makes you
It
jump
blows
out
your
of your
mind.
seat. So I don't know if this was done purposefully.
I don't
by,
think we
the
should throw
director.
that much shade on Nigel though. You know.
Yeah, I know. This is why
He
I'm
did a
saying
good
I
job.
don't know
He
if
did a
it's
decent
intentional that he did that or not. But if it is, props to you. That's
He's very
that's
good.
pretty good.
but
I'm
like,
gonna buy his merch.
yeah, we're gonna,
Buy his
we're
merch.
buying his
Buy
merch.
his
Next
Look
episode.
at the description. Look at the description. Go down there.
Go
Go down
buy
there.
this guy's
So-
stuff.
When he figures
Please.
out that,
There's like 2 shirts.
when he figures out that
$20.
Yeah,
Ben,
let's go.
Ben is like haunting the house, he goes and fishes the religious artifacts out of the trash.
And puts them. No, he doesn't
Yeah.
do that yet.
Yeah, he does. He does
Yeah,
that
he
after
does, he
figures
does.
it out.
I don't know
Because-
when he does this.
He
Yeah,
puts
so
it out of the
basically,
trash.
He basically fishes out of the trash and finds a picture drawn by Ben in the Bible. And there's Mommy, Daddy,
Good
Ben,
Ben.
and then in the corner it's like this
The
cat
dog-
monster
the dog
looking
looking
type thing.
It's,
Yeah.
It's like Bad Ben.
And this is the design that's on the shirt.
Which
Ladies and gentlemen, a
Okay.
poorly drawn picture of a dog.
I love it.
It says Bad Ben. It says Bad
10 out of
Ben.
10.
Bad-
10 out of 10.
Bad Ben.
Bad
Bad drawing.
Bad Ben.
What was-
Long bad drawing. Oh. Okay, so
Okay,
back to
and
the
then
movie.
when the night comes again, a bunch of stuff is moving around, and then this time he actually sees the chair move towards the basement, and he yells, "Stop
No!
it!"
Stop
No,
it.
no. He moves it back, and then it moves again, and then he
And
moves
moves
it
it
back,
back,
and he
and
moves
it was
it. He moves
getting
it back. He's like,
No!
"Stop it!
Stop it!
No!
It's the stupidest line delivery you're ever gonna hear.
I
in your
love
time.
it so
We were
much."
watching the commercial, and when we saw it, he's like, no, stop it. We were just like, oh my god.
And then all of us are like, "We have to watch this
Yeah.
movie."
And then,
And then
what happened
and
is
later
when he
that
tries to
night-
exercise it.
later
No,
that
no,
night,
not yet, not yet.
later that night,
So
when
then
he's
he
in
goes
bed-
into the attic again.
And finds a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
No, that's
no,
no.
that's
And he's-
later.
No, that wasn't the first time.
No, but the first we went to the attic, he said, "Merry Christmas."
Yeah,
Merry
see-
Christmas.
Merry effing Christmas.
Might I mention this movie is full of swears for absolutely no reason.
Yep.
It's
As I
Remember he's
said,
telling the police?
He's
yeah. He was
stereotypical-
talking to the police. He literally, said like these horrible things to the police officer and then hung up.
Is that an offense?
This what tells
Isn't
you.
that a felony?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So I
This
have
is
to
what
call
tells
them.
you what kind of person this dude
So
is.
he's like, he makes friends with Ben, technically a little bit, and he knows what Ben is and stuff. He's a ghost. So then Ben visits him at night. He's like, "Ben, is that
Are you there?
So then Ben leads him throughout the house.
With the lights completely off.
No, he turns on the lights.
The
for him.
lights. Oh my god. Okay, the lights in this movie. The lighting in this movie is absolutely terrible.
It acts
And you
like
might
it's-
say that's because it's a found footage movie, right? The lighting isn't going to be perfect. But my problem isn't with the actual lighting.
of the house.
It's with
The night.
the night
The
vision.
night vision.
So you know how night vision it just turns everything green. Really, it doesn't cast any shadows.
Yep.
He just puts up green lights in his house, and it's casting shadows everywhere. It looks absolutely horrendous. You can tell it's just green lights. It's
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
So he
That's
leaves
so-
him and he finds something.
something.
What did he find?
something.
Everything in this movie,
Everything
it's just
is just
what
insane.
meshes together.
What
You
did
can't
he
tell.
find?
I don't know. He finds something to do with the kid.
No,
So-
I think he goes into the attic. No, he goes in the attic.
He goes in
He
the
goes in the
attic,
attic.
and then finds.
he finds this tilted over like thing of sand,
Oh,
and
it's
then
an
Ben
urn,
writes,
yes.
"Not your home." And he's like, "Well, I got something to tell you, buddy. This is
My
my
home."
home." And he wipes out the sand.
He
and he's like,
overacts.
come on! If you want to kick me out of this house, you're gonna have to try harder than moving a whole bunch of furniture and writing in the sand."
And
And
then-
then this attic door slams and the lights go off.
It was
So,
so damn funny.
He went from 0
To
100 in like
That's the span
half
of
a
0.5
second.
And
seconds.
basically, when he,
Half a
when he gets
second.
back into bed, all you see, you know, like that, like Snapchat filter where it makes like your face like kind of like
Ben
move around.
visits.
Ben visits him, but with that filter on his bed sheets. Those bed sheets like go like.
It's like ah, and then he like slams
It's
him,
like slamming
punch
him down.
punch him.
Yeah.
And then it shows him he's cleaning out his bloody nose.
So this is okay. This one scene, I love this scene. It just shows the actor squirming around in his bed, pretending to be strangled by an invisible super ghost baby.
Ghost
Super Ghost Baby.
Ghost
That's
baby.
a
Think
good
about
way to
that.
describe it.
Wipe
T-shirt,
all the context away
T-shirt down
from this.
below, merch, Super Ghost Baby.
Okay, so wipe all the context away from this video. Forget what you just saw. A man acting like he's being strangled in a bed alone by a super ghost baby, and then by being strangled results in him getting a bloody nose.
Yeah.
No, like he like looks like he got like the crap kicked out of him, like
Yeah.
literally.
Yep. And then when he's cleaning out his nose, the door opens from behind him to the bathroom
And turns the light on.
and turns the light on in the nearest room.
Oh, in the nearest room, yes.
And then he decides he's had enough of this crap and then whips out the Bible.
And the Exorcist.
And then he walks around. Okay.
And
What did he say?
Then he
He's
walks
like,
around the
the
house.
power of Christ compels
This is
you.
no longer your home. Your time has come.
It is time to cross over. You will find peace there. This is not your home. It is time to cross over. You will not find peace there. And he repeats that about 10 times.
No,
He
more
hears
than
the
10
noise.
times. So this goes
It's-
on,
and
he
then
walks
he-
around the house like this for,
And then
I
he
kid you not,
opens
10 minutes.
and then he opens the door and
It shuts.
and now
It shuts
Jesus
on its
Christ
own.
compels you. And then and then the
The
door
power of
closes
Christ
and you
compels
think that
you.
he's gotten rid of the ghost.
Now, this is,
And then it cuts to a couple shots of the morning.
And then
salon,
that
yeah,
is
so
going to turn out to be the
basically
biggest mistake of
the
his life.
movie makes you think that, hey, everything's back to normal.
And there's like 10 minutes left of
And
the
then he
movie.
fishes all the Bible stuff out of the trash
Yeah.
and puts it back up and puts the cross back up and he's like, Jesus' cross, right where it should be.
And he puts it there, and then he reassembles the kid's grave in the backwoods.
Well,
But no,
crappily.
It's like
Terribly. He
He
did that
buries
horribly.
all the ghost stuff in that hole
it's like
and
you
then just
better
fills it up.
stay. You better stay down there. Like he said like 5 swear words in the same sentence.
And then he just plops the cross down and then he goes back into his
he
house.
didn't even stand it up. He just threw it
And
on
then
the
he
ground.
goes to someone's house for something, and when he comes back to his house, only you see that the cross has been knocked on the ground, and
There's a voodoo doll. In the attic, he also found
all the voodoo dolls, all the voodoo dolls are together, and the knife is through them,
on the wall.
stabbing them into the wall. And then he runs downstairs, he grabs the hatchet, and he's, "You're mine this time! You're mine this time!"
Again, the line delivery.
And then he
oh
goes like-
my god.
So
then-
the basement door at the bottom of the stairs, the basement has been locked this entire movie.
he takes the hatchet.
Bam! Bam! 3 shots.
He literally like
Just opens.
busts
down the
busts
door.
down the door.
With 4 hatchet swings, not
I'm-
even at the doorknob.
Yeah, not even at
Just
the doorknob,
above
just
it.
on the wood.
Like he's like
So-
it's like this much above it. Like he hits like this much above the doorknob. That's like down, like that's here, and he hits it like right up here.
Yeah.
And like
Honestly, I think he was trying to do an homage to The Shining, but he didn't really.
he
He
didn't
didn't
say
say, "Here's Johnny."
He
He didn't say
"Here's
anything.
Tommy.
He
And
just sort of
mine now.
And then the
busted
door
down the
op-
door, and he's like, "Oh, it smells in here." And this is where the New York accent comes back. It's really bad in this one.
So then it's in a room, and the room has been locked, and there's a chain hanging from the ceiling. There's a Hulk action figure on the shelf.
There's a Hulk action figure on the shelf. Yep, he has kids.
And there's a rocking chair rocking like viciously back and forth.
It's like
And then
this
he finds
tall.
the basement camera. He gets the he puts his phone down, and
plugs it back in.
he plugs the camera back in, and then he walks over this chain.
Wait, before he walks over this chain, this high-tech screen shows, and it's like, whoosh, whoosh, initializing camera. Initialize blast control.
And then the
Overwrite
camera
brains,
turns
you know?
on, and then it shows the outside camera.
And then you see the door open. So
You see Ben coming through the front door.
Like Ben
Well,
is
you
like
don't see him,
so
you
tall.
You see his
you
shadow.
see his shadow. He's a very tall, small child.
He's a very
So
tall
then he
baby.
pulls the chain, and then he hears screaming. And Ben comes downstairs, and he's ready to rumble, boys!
He beats this guy.
No,
to
wait, he runs up the stairs.
oblivion.
He just, whoop! No, all you hear is just, ah! Up the stairs.
And you hear lots of screaming coming
Oh,
from
so
the
like
basement.
basically,
There's Ben screaming, but since he's a baby, it's like,
and then Tom is like, and then like 5 seconds later,
he's pulling, and then he
This
gets
is
up,
the
he gets
doorway.
up, but then he
He says no multiple times. He's like, no.
no,
No.
And
But he
basically,
somehow
every
slides
single time
backwards
after
so that
Tom screams,
his arms are facing the stairs.
And then he gets pulled down.
He goes pulled down by his arms and you just hear screaming. It's like, ah!
and basically 5 seconds after Tom screams every time, the ghost people will just go like, and then they'll just cut to Tom screaming again. 5 seconds later, and like it'll like in
And then-
between screams of Tom, this thing will like
Yeah,
wait 5
yeah.
seconds to scream.
Now
Yeah.
let's talk
And then,
about
and then
the
the
ending
final
bit.
scene
Let's talk about
is
that because I think
is
it's really well done.
Tom being dragged into the basement, into the hidden room with the hatchet in his chest
Yeah.
and blood all over his face and the chain around his neck.
Yep. See, I thought
And
Is
then,
he's
and
being
then,
dragged?
then we get probably one of the best endings in a horror movie when the cameras are all shutting off and it says storage full.
Storage full,
Yes, the
turning
storage
off
full,
in
turning
5
off.
erase,
seconds.
erase,
and then we
erase
all thought there was
data.
going to be a jump scare at the
All
end because that's
footage,
just this.
all
these
footage
movies.
after this will be erased.
Yeah. So it erases the footage, all that.
Well, erases all the footage after the cloud roll, and so it only recorded what we saw.
Yeah. So now
And then it says Bad Ben and the movie.
here's the thing about the ending. After you hear his screams, it goes to this camera screen, right? And it's like shows all the cameras in the house or something, and then it sees like all initializing and like tech stuff, and it's really well done because the last scene it's shot from the perspective of the basement camera, which I think is really
never
fulfilling
been
because
done.
that's kind of
and it had never
that's
been
kind of the
done.
goal of the movie. He was trying to get the basement camera on, right? So I think the ending was actually kind of well done
And
for a movie like that.
Yeah.
We did do some research, and in a few movies later, somehow Tom is alive.
No,
He-
we're not spoiling it.
That's close.
Just no spoilers.
He
That is
Okay,
it
well,
dies.
anyway, here's my theory on the movie.
Yeah.
He actually banished the good Ben, and good Ben was trying to keep Tom from going into the basement. But with,
Bad Ben is in the basement.
yeah, so with good Ben banished, he couldn't stop Bad Ben from coming
killing.
out and killing Tom.
Right, but considering the caliber of the writing, I think that's very unlikely. But the
Yeah.
ending is sort of left up to interpretation.
Bad Ben Endgame.
Alright, so
Kind of
now,
see it.
Now we need to do our
Reverse review.
Reverse
review. What would you give this movie out of 5? 5 being the worst and 1 being the best.
Do I need to explain?
No.
no,
Well, kind of, maybe.
Just number.
Just a
just
bit.
like a brief
Just tiny-
explanation.
Can I explain? Because I don't know.
If it
what
takes
the-
more
Brief
than a minute.
explanation.
Brief
Brief
explanation.
explanation.
Okay, so 2 out of 5. My reasoning being,
Yeah.
half the movie is the guy walking around his house. It's not scary. It's
Also,
not
2
interesting.
out of 5.
2 out of 5 is good.
2 out of
You'd
5.
say 4 out of 5.
5 is
The worst.
the worst. and
What?
1 is the best.
Yeah.
It's reverse
Okay.
review.
Reverse. Okay.
So
So
three. 3.
sorry, 4. 4 out of 5, or just 4, I guess, because all he does is walk around his house. I understand these found footage movies are like that, but at
It's
least
boring.
like movies like Blair Witch
Yeah.
made it interesting. It's boring. The scares are bad. The only one good one
What's the
was
What's the table?
Music Club.
very
Music
well
Club's table.
No one was
the
expecting
ending.
that one.
The ending was pretty solid. So I give the
Solid four.
points for
4.
the tone and the ending. That's really
Wait,
it. That's
4.
all I'm doing.
4 for Drew. 1 to 5, 5 being the worst. No, 5 being the worst, 1 being the best.
I'd probably say a 3. The reasoning behind that is because, like, it may just be, like, a man walking around the house for most of the time. But, like, I just really liked how, like, the lines were, like, so poorly acted. It was kind of more of a comedy, kind
Well,
of.
yeah. From
Like
an actual filmmaking standpoint,
it would be terrible.
easily 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Horrible, right?
Yeah, but, like, if, like, this is just, I'm assuming, like, they had, like, 3 people working on this movie.
Probably the one guy. I'd
Probably the
say.
one guy, yeah. Most
There was a
likely.
couple people.
No, there's the one guy. Remember at the beginning, he
Let's
was in
take
the
a
door,
look.
and then you could see the guy, like a hand in
Savior.
Oh,
the
yeah.
door.
The Savior IMDb. Let's take a
Yeah,
look.
but basically,
So,
but basically, yeah, like, I liked the few scares that were, like, actually pretty good. The ending, I thought, was phenomenal. Because, like,
Phenomenal.
him being dragged away all bloody in a pulp was amazing. I thought they did a good job with all, like, erasing data. And,
also,
yeah. I actually would give it, like, a 3.5. 3.5, I'd say.
3.5? You can't
3.5.
do 3.5. Number.
3.5, that's, like, 3.5 stars.
3.5. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
No,
3.5
no, half,
stars.
no
Gotta be
0.5.
three.
No 0.5.
What?
No
Let's-
0.5. Just give it a 3 or 4.
Fine, 3.
Right. All full cast
Wait.
and crew. It's only the one.
And you. 5 to 1. 5 being the worst, 1 being the best.
I'd give it a 4.
Yeah.
I don't like the lighting or the. I think he did an okay job writing the script, but he just did a bad job presenting it.
Yeah.
For example, the monster, you didn't even get to see what it looked like.
Well, that's the entire point of
It was just some sort of
paranormal-
spectral
Well,
thing.
that's kind of the entire point of like Paranormal Activity movies. They get their entire scares from you can't see
You can't
it.
see it, right?
No, but I mean, like at the end, Bad Ben, because the kid knew what it looked like.
The
Yeah.
kids-
So how did that means it would have to have some sort of physical entity?
Keep in mind, this might be a plot
This
hole.
is his first movie.
This might be
It gets better.
This might be
better.
a plot hole or something, but the
Yeah.
kid drew Bad Ben when he was alive, right?
So Bad Ben had to
So
have
Bad
existed
Ben had to have existed
before he died.
before he died, right? Which honestly doesn't make any sense, but
Well,
I
we'll
guess
find
we
in the
might
sequel,
figure out
which is a prequel.
in the next
We'll
movie.
find in the sequel, which
The
is
next
a prequel.
the next movie is a
So
prequel.
4, 3, 4.
4.
What about you?
What about yourself, bro?
I would give it a free.
A 3?
I don't know.
A free.
A 3. I cannot talk.
3.
Basically, because I this is like one of the first found footage like Paranormal Activity type of movies I've seen, and I thought it was kind of well presented.
Yeah.
Well presented for like what
Like,
it's supposed to be.
Tonally consistent.
Even
Say.
like the scares were solid, most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them were solid. Like, did they hurt you? And then just table.
Did they hurt? That was the
Did
best
they
one.
hurt you?
That was best.
No.
I
Are you a
thought.
house pet?
I don't know about you, but I absolutely love bad acting. I love how
It's
much
so
he
funny.
overacts.
It's so
Like,
okay. So
But
we have.
also, a downside, the reason I'm giving it a free instead of like a higher
A
is
one.
because I appreciate what he's been trying to do, and I also think that it will get better with the sequels, and I think that for what he
They're
had,
probably got very bad
he did a good
backlash.
job.
I bet
Right.
I bet got very bad
But the
backlash.
bad thing is that it makes the protagonist almost impossible to root for.
Oh god, he's so bad.
The bad thing is Ben.
I was basically.
Okay,
I was
so
basically
wait.
cheering when he
I'm gonna
died.
try something new. What
So-
do you guys think this movie got out of 10? Like critically?
We're looking at our rating. So what's your rating? 4? 4. 3? 4? 4.
Quick math.
14.
7. Quick
14.
math.
It's 14. It's 14.
14.
4, 8, 6.
8.
No, 8 and 6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
14.
Okay.
14 out of 14 out of 20. Not the best movie, but not the worst movie of the year.
So that's 7 out of 10 for normal film people. Now, what do you guys think this got on?
Leave down in the comments.
5.4 out of 10.
James, shut up. You saw it. Hey, you ruined it, you little.
Okay, 5.4 out of 10.
5.4
5.4 out of 10.
Wait,
Honestly,
really?
I think that that's a little more than it deserves.
I think it
I
was
mean-
probably with 3.5.
But
what are the reviews?
It's whatever.
What are
It's-
reviews?
Alright, well now we're gonna go binge watch Bad Ben, right?
What-
But
What's
first,
the review?
it's time for favorite line of the
Wait, favorite line.
movie.
Guys, favorite line.
Guys,
Wait,
favorite
use
line.
review.
Favorite line.
What a
Favorite
great
line.
surprise. I'm
James,
awesome.
guys, favorite line.
James, favorite line.
Alright, so
Favorite line.
Favorite line, Drew.
favorite line, Drew.
Merry Christmas. I
Merry
can't swear
effing
because
Christ-
it's a family-friendly, PG clean channel.
Merry effing Christmas.
Yeah.
James, what's your favorite line?
I like. Stop it.
What's your favorite line?
No, I liked. You're mine this time.
There's no critic
Your
reviews
time
for
for
this
crossing
movie.
has come. It's fine.
My favorite line was, "That's going on eBay right there."
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's a
total
good one.
14 out of 20. Not the worst movie, not the best movie, but would I watch it again? Maybe if I'm
Yes,
really
totally
tired
yes.
and with a whole bunch of friends.
Bad Ben.
I would
was-
definitely watch it again. It's a
I would
nice.
Bad Ben. Was,
It's a nice time
It's
waster.
nice. It is a
It's
nice time waster.
Time waster,
I guess.
yeah.
But
Bad-
yeah, that's the end. We reviewed Bad Ben, available on Amazon Prime Video
Back
if
in
you want to
Friday.
watch it.
Directed by Nigel Bach.
And next, we are going to review Bad Ben 2. I forgot its name, but it's Bad Ben.
It's the
Nigel
name of the road.
It's the name of the
Ooh,
road.
spooky.
Don't search that. Don't search that.
I will.
Well, now, let's get to the numbers. We're at the kill count.
No!